Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trang Tries It, where I try a spiritual or metaphysical reading so that if you like it, you can click down below and book a reading and support another business. So in today's episode, I am doing a psychic mediumship reading. So what a psychic mediumship reading is, it's pretty much connecting with someone in the afterlife. So it could be someone that passed away. It could be your spirit guides as well. And the difference between psychic mediumship and psychic reading is that with psychic reading, people are usually using their intuitive abilities to kind of sense what you're going through in life and kind of I guess some of them can use it in a way to foresee I wouldn't say foresee the future. I like to word in a way where they see the probability of seeing things happen at a certain time. But again, we always have free will. But psychic mediumship is connecting and talking to someone in the afterlife. So today we're gonna see if we can talk to my grandpa, because as you guys know, and I've mentioned in a lot of my other videos that we talk to grandpa. Check out our YouTube series called Grandpa Luan, where we channel him in the afterlife. And before we start, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down there so you get a notification on when the next episode will be airing. Okay, so it's susanschuster.com, and let's see what her website says here. She offers psychic and mediumship readings. What I like a lot about her website, you can kind of get a vibe, especially with the copywriting and how people write and kind of like their perspectives when it comes to how they do a reading in here. And you obviously at the Happy Healing Shop, we have a bias where we want to have people feeling healed or empowered coming out of their reading. So here she talks about healing and whatnot, and how her clients' trust is really important. And I'm getting pretty good vibes off of her too. So it looks like she has readings, psychic parties, and psychic events. That sounds like fun. What I really like is there's a section where it's called Prepare for a Reading. And I think this is actually more important than people realize, because a lot of people come either one, really skeptical and don't realize how that can inhibit them from getting a really good experience, as well as for people that are nervous and don't know what to expect, or just new people and they don't know how mediumship or psychic abilities work. So I love how there's a video there, and also it talks about, again, just coming with a good mindset and how resistance, right here, it really will kill the experience. And again, I think we've had one or few people being like, oh, well, when my parents died, they said there's only like one thing that they'll give, one information they'll give that only I can know the answer to. And the thing is, they don't realize when they get to the afterlife, sometimes the communication is really difficult sometimes, or not all psychic mediums talk the same way, or they connect with spirit the same way, or they have different abilities. So that's one thing that our human form, our human minds sometimes don't comprehend or don't understand. And I think based on this information that we are getting here, I totally resonate with her style, especially with the grief, the desperation. There is some people that I really, that come to us that I'm like, I don't even think they're really ready for a reading, or they're not in a good mental state at the moment. And I love how she talks about being open and focused. I think like being open to experience and what comes is like the best way to experience a session. Okay, so let's see what reading she has. It looks like medium, psychic card. I'm assuming that's tarot card, photograph, interesting, lipstick reading, group reading. So I think for today, this video's purpose, we're going to do, mediumship. So you can see right here, it looks like it's evidential mediumship. So that is going to be probably a good chunk of the reading, talking and giving about facts or information about loved one coming through. Like, oh, they're showing me this blanket that, that's red and it's like really soft, and you might be like, oh yeah, that's my childhood blanket. It's things like that. So that's when it's evidential, aka evidence. So it looks like she offers mediumship. Her services are 30, 45 minutes, and an hour long. And what's interesting is that, she does offer psychic for 15 minutes only. What's interesting is that her mediumship, her psychic readings and card readings, actually all her services are all the same price regardless of the service. So for those who are looking for, let's say like mediumship, which is usually more premium price, this is actually quite more affordable rate. Sometimes people ask like, why are certain readers cheaper than other readers? Does that affect the quality? And no, not necessarily. Like, you have to factor in a lot of things. So here, I believe she's in Missouri, and obviously the cost of living in Missouri is going to be much cheaper than, let's say, like Los Angeles or New York. So a lot of times I've seen mediums in LA that go for like $300 an hour, or I've been to, I sat in one where it was like $500 for a 90-minute reading. So just because if it seems cheap, it does not necessarily mean it's low quality. Again, you have to factor in so many things. So here, if you want a short 30-minute session or a 45-minute session or an hour, that works. They're all like the same flat rate, really. So I'm gonna go for a 30-minute mediumship. Let's see here. And what's great, let's see, it's July 6th today. So if you kind of want a reading pretty soon, within the week, you can. Her calendar seems quite open at this moment. Oh, nope, way too early for me. Okay, that is more like it. The scheduling system is the same that we use, so it's pretty straightforward. You kind of book, enter your information if she asks for anything, but I don't think she actually does.
All right, let's check out my reading.
So every medium has their own style. They're different style, whatever. I'm an evidential medium, so I'll be bringing through different pieces of evidence to help you understand who I have in front of me. Okay. Sometimes I scribble. Let me just leave this open. Sometimes I just scribble. Here, what do I want to say to you? I know that you've already had a reading, but of course, I'll use all of my senses to interpret the information that I receive. I will do my very best to be as accurate as possible. I can only use my life experiences and my knowledge in that way to interpret what I receive. Okay. So you're going to work as hard as I am. You and I are on the same team. We are both working to understand what spirit is bringing to us. Okay. I do appreciate a verbal response with mediumship. If I ask if you understand this, meaning does it resonate with you and somehow for yourself, for spirit that we're working with, or family or friend here in the physical world. So yes, no, or I don't know would be an appropriate response. You can be honest. No's don't hurt my feelings. And know that I can connect in with loved ones. They can talk with me about any part of their life, not just their passing or near their end. And I can connect in also with those who may have passed that you, they may have passed before you were born. Grandparents, for example, sometimes come in and they say, oh, I didn't know them. That's fine. Okay. And then I would ask you just to be open to allowing spirit to run the session instead of us trying to control it like humans like to do, like we humans like to do so much, right? And if you're okay with all that, I'll give you a quick example. For me, the mediumship may work like, so I have a gentleman stepping forward. He's wearing purple pants with silver stars. Now he's holding onto red balloons and he lets those go. Maybe he literally had a crazy pair of pants like that. Maybe you just saw a pattern like that. Maybe he loved astronomy and purple was his favorite color. Maybe balloons were let go in honor of him and there was some type of significance to the color red. Okay, so. All right, perfect. So let's get started. I will record this as well. I'll look all around instead of at you most of the times, not to be rude, just that's where I connect in. Let me see. So if you want to just open your heart space and invite your loved ones in, asking them to give us what we need today. It may not be what you want, but it will be what you need. And asking them to make it easy. I always like that intention, right? To make it easy for us. And I'll connect in as well. Really quickly, was there someone in particular you were hoping to connect with today?
My grandpa.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Give me a moment as I connect in. Okay. Would you understand grandfather on father's side, paternal grandfather in spirit?
Yep.
Okay. So right away, he started showing me and talking with me about little light. That's the only way I know to say it. Little light. And then he was showing me what felt like First it was a butterfly, then it transformed into what feels like a dragonfly. So I thought that was quite interesting, the way that we connected in opening up. Let me just keep working with him. I feel like your grandfather was kind and gentle. He was much more of an observer than he would have always. He's not the type of gentleman that would have been needing to steal the show. He would have been not exactly a wallflower, but he was very observant of what was going on around him and people. And I feel like he processed things that way in life. Would you understand that sort of about him?
Yes.
Yes. And I feel that he was a very fair individual in life also. I feel that he didn't like to jump to conclusions or to immediately place judgment upon others, but instead I feel like he was a gentleman who would offer second chances or a chance for people to redeem themselves. Would you understand that as well?
Yes.
Yeah. He was dedicated and loyal to his family. Very dedicated and loyal, and he absolutely loved grandchildren, because I see an image of him bending down and them running towards him, and I just feel this loving embrace that I'm giving to my grandchildren as I connect in with him and we begin to blend. I also know that he was very cognizant of the impact that words had on people, and especially on their emotional status or state. He was very deliberate in what words he would have chosen when speaking with someone. Would you understand that as well?
Yes.
Yes, he is incredibly sensitive to others. And I feel that this comes from a place where, unfortunately, he had the unfortunate experience of being on the receiving end of not such kind words in his life when he was younger. Would you understand that as well?
That I don't know. He never really told me about his upbringing, but I
Sure.
wouldn't be surprised.
Sure. And I know that he feels like part of his role in life, part of his duties were to nourish his family members, to allow them to be who they chose to be authentic in who they actually were versus what he wanted. He was not a gentleman who was interested in controlling people either, by any means. It comes across like that. Would you understand that about him as well?
Yes.
It's just this beautiful way of him accepting and embracing you as you are. You understand? It's like, come as you are and I accept you, because you are truly being authentic. Let's see here. So as I continue to blend with him, Trang, I know that I'm starting to feel jittery or nervous. I have this nervousness or jitteriness. Would you understand that with him from a physical perspective?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's all right. Let me just keep working with him. When I ask him about this, he brings me to his passing. He describes his passing as slow but easy. Do you understand that as well? He's saying
Yeah.
slow and easy. He told me that he had an opportunity to say his goodbyes and that he has no regrets. Would you also understand that?
Yes.
That he felt like he had closure in this lifetime. Just as I say that, though, he brings me what feels like a memory. With this memory, I feel that I'm spinning a little girl around in front of me, and I'm clapping, and we're singing a song, and I don't know the song, Trang. And I wouldn't know the song because I don't feel that it's in my culture. Would you understand this as well?
Yes.
And I'm sitting in a chair, and she's a toddler, and she's going around and around and around. But I feel like this was our thing. Do you understand that? That this would have been our thing to do. It was a fun thing that he carried out with Feels like if it's not with you, it's another grandchild because it's a girl. Would you understand that for yourself?
Yeah, it's probably another cousin of mine then, because
Oh,
he and the rest of the family grew up in Vietnam, so I didn't get to visit him that often.
okay. Because it feels very cultural for him, and unfamiliar for me, for sure. He also was a man who was not afraid of hard work. I know that there would have been financial challenges, but the one thing for sure that the family knew that there was an abundance of was love. You would understand that he feels very prideful in the man that he was, in terms of understanding that he gave his family everything that he was within his power. He says that he was capable of giving, but I also know that he would have worked hard, and it feels like hard manual labor with him. Would you understand that?
Yes.
But the one thing he made sure of was the love, and that there was an abundance of that as well. All of a sudden, he brings my awareness to a telephone, a cell phone, and video chatting, online, video chatting, excuse me, almost like FaceTime. But I feel that I'm nearing my end during this time. Would you understand that? Him communicating with others who were afar? I know you've already mentioned that he was in Vietnam, but would you understand that? Him being on FaceTime or Skype or video somehow?
Yes, but I think at that time it wasn't a thing for our family yet, or at least over here in the States.
Okay, because he's showing me that. And someone else is helping him with it, by the way. I want to say someone else is helping him with it. Do you understand that? And he's in the background like, oh, like they're holding the phone, and he's in the background, and then he comes to the forefront, but I know he's not operating the phone or the technology. I know that he's not doing that. It's being done for him.
Sounds about right.
Yeah,
it sounds very realistic.
Yeah, as a means of him being able to communicate and have a sense of relationship. When I ask why he's stepping forward today, he says to me, just as a gentle reminder to always be gentle and kind in your approach. Not that you aren't, but that is something that I feel that is a way he lived his life, and he's asking or encouraging you to do the same. And he says, come without judgment first. He says, gather all the facts first before you make a judgment upon someone. It's very important to him and how he lived. He is explaining to me that he's very proud of you, that you would have gone on to higher education, you would have graduated, you would have done quite well. It gives you an A+, so I know that you were a good student. And then he says honors, honors, honors. Would you understand all of that?
Yes.
Yes, he's very proud of you. And he is proud of you because you had the opportunities that he feels that he did not have. He did not have those same opportunities. He's so proud that you were able to run with those opportunities and make the most of them. He said he called you like a shining star. She's a shining star, he said. Okay, he's trying to tell me something, but I'm not familiar with it. But he's calling you his little something. I know that's so vague, but when just give me a moment, let me see if I can have him give it to me another way. It's a nickname is what I want to say. It's an endearing name he would have used. At least that's what he's saying, my little. And it sounds like it has an N sound to it. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say it. I don't know what it is. It's
could be also Vietnamese word, so
yeah, it is. It is.
Okay,
But you'd be surprised. I've gotten it where I've spelled things out. People are like, holy smokes, you missed one letter and I know what you mean. So it's an N and there's a K sound at the end, and then it repeats. I don't know, there's an N, there's something in the middle, and there's a K sound, and then it repeats. And like nook, nook. I hear that. No, I hear that syllable, nook. I hear that in it. So something to do with that. He's calling you that. Of course, I don't speak Vietnamese. I would not know that, but that's okay. Would you understand he's also one of your guides helping you here in the spiritual and physical world? Absolutely. Yes. He is very proud to be the guide for you, he's telling me. And he's also explaining that you will continue to go far and have much, or excuse me, he wants me to say great success, not much success, great success is what he's saying to you. He said you're very strong-willed, strong-minded. You don't give up easily. And that is the key to success for you. Would you understand that as well? You don't give up. Yeah.
Yep.
He's also talking with me about your confidence. He's telling me that you're very confident because you've never been taught to be anything but confident, is what he's saying. You wouldn't know how not to be confident as well. As long as she believes in herself, all things are possible. Then he just put me out in the universe and I see all these beautiful like stars around me. And he's talking about your spiritual path. He's saying anything is possible. Now, he's bringing my attention to his mouth. I feel like I'm missing teeth, but I also feel like I chew. Would you understand that with him?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm chewing tobacco.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That too, maybe.
I think I'm chewing tobacco, but I'm also chewing on something else, but I know that I'm missing some teeth as well. I feel quite frail, and I want to say I'm thin too. I don't usually go to the physical stuff unless it holds value anymore. Just, you know, no offense, it just, there's more evidence to be had. He's talking to me about his physical passing, so give me a moment. So he's trying to get me there. He took me to cancer, took me to leukemia, took me to the veins. I can see blood. He's taking me to rare. He's talking to me about something with his passing being rare or unusual. Would you understand all of this?
I'm not sure. I just knew that it kind of like came and then he got ill and they said maybe he got the wrong meds from the doctor.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
Yeah,
let's see here, because he's maybe that's the bloodstream he's taking me to with the veins in the blood, saying rare. He took me to cancer. He took me to, it was like we're going on a trip. He's trying to get me somewhere. So took me to cancer, took me to leukemia, took me to the veins. I can see my bloodstream and veins. Then he's telling me rare. I feel like he's pointing me towards the pharmacy being the blame, actually. I don't know if that makes sense. And I know what you said, but he took me to a pharmacist behind the counter, not paying attention.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's where he took me. He's making me feel as though my heart is speeding up as well. Do you understand that?
I'm assuming this is probably like the last day when he was probably about to pass.
Yeah, because he's bringing me to rapid breathing and my heart is.
It's okay. I'm okay with that. He was pretty old.
Yeah, no, I feel that you're okay. And I feel that too. I just know that he's bringing me to that. I didn't know if he was still wanting to go into the detail of his passing. I'm like, okay, let's see here. Let me see what messages he has for you. No, you're sure we have grandfather here. So beautiful. He just told you never be afraid of taking the leap of faith. Never be afraid to take the risk. He just said she has a good balance of like me, observing, but then also jumping in. So like you've got a good balance between those two things. It's not that you observe so long that you miss your opportunity, and it's not that you jump in right away. You're really analyzing the situation, and there's good balance there with you. And he's talking about that as one of your strengths, and that'll continue to be a strength of yours as well, especially in your spiritual work. Your grandfather smoked?
I don't know, but it's really common in Vietnam though.
Okay, is it? I did not, because I feel like I'm smoking, but I don't feel like It's just a cigarette. It's almost, I want to hold like that's like a little pipe or something. But he's also bringing up the smell of smoke. Would you understand having this experience already, the smell of smoke and no source for it? Do you understand that?
Oh, you mean Claire Alliance?
Yes.
No, I haven't smelled that smell yet. I
Because
don't think so.
bringing it up as a sign of his presence, him making his presence known. There's no source for that, but he is in fact bringing that up as one of the signs. I'm asking for other signs.
Good to know. I'll pay attention more.
He's talking about repeating numbers too to get your attention.
Yep. I do see the 1111, 111.
I was just going to say 111. He's showing me. Then he went 222, 2333. Now he's going up like numerically. But anyway, he is showing me the repeating numbers also as a sign or symbol. But I feel it's just more of a way to get you to slow down, and for you to recognize what's happening, spiritually. So it's more getting your attention is what he's saying to me.
I always wondered what it meant. Like I would see the numbers. I'd be like, okay, I know you're saying me the symbols. But I don't know what you're trying to say. So
it's just to get you to slow down, to become more aware. Because she's a juggler, multitasker. She's a juggler. You can have a lot going on, so you're missing some of the signs that he's sending, is what he's telling me. He's telling me a son has a name is named after him, or as a namesake. Do you understand that? Someone has a part of a name or name after him. Do you understand that?
You mean one of his sons or grandchildren? Not that I know of, but he does have a lot of grandkids and stuff. So I it's like to the point where like I don't know all of them.
Okay.
They're in Vietnam, so
okay, no worries. It's giving me like namesake. He's also bringing me to understanding that when he passed, I don't know when family was notified. It was middle of the night or nighttime, and I feel like he's bringing me to family that's far away from him, because he's showing me a home. It feels like or a building, I should say, a home with tile. All I can see is the tile floor. I'm seeing, and whether that's literal or not, I don't know, but it's showing me tile floor. And then I can see that there is sun coming in the window. I know that it is daytime. It feels like daytime when he passes, but then he made me feel as though notification for others took place in the middle of the night. In the evening, it's dark. He's showing me darkness. Do you understand any of that?
Not really, because I don't think I knew much about that time period because I wasn't there. Yeah, or wasn't told about it.
Okay, no worries. Let me see here. See what messages he has. Anything else? Get ready. He's telling you get ready, because he just put you on a big stage also.
Like this year get ready, or like next year get ready?
2022 get ready.
So you have any messages for, I guess, this year or next year?
Well, the first message is get ready, because it's coming. Let's see here. He says success is coming, and then all of a sudden when I look, all I can see are like dollar bills floating down, like, success. Prosperity is very important. He's telling me, like, for him to give you, to help you. He's actually laying golden pavers for you, which is my sign or symbol that they are supporting you from the other side, but making opportunities happen. He has a hand in what will be happening. I don't want to go psychic, so hold on, I want to ask him. I want to make sure he's just giving me the answers to your question. All the preparation that you've been doing will pay off for you. Continue to remain consistent, working hard as you do. He is saying to you for you to make sure that you are also managing the speed at which things happen for you, because they can happen extraordinarily quickly and that can be overwhelming, he's saying. So you're going to want to control the pace of the growth and the success that comes your way. He just put you like on a stagecoach with the reins, you know, like you're pulling back on the reins a little bit, slowing things down. You're the voice of many, he said. You are the voice of many. And he just showed you holding the heart of like hearts of many as well, which is really beautiful. But you're this comforter, this nurturer of hearts of many. Keeps telling me clairsentience, clairsentience for you, clairsentience. Feel, feel. You are a healer, he just said to you. He just showed you like sitting with a heart and you're sewing it together. It's like two pieces of the heart, sewing it together, repairing it. He's going to continue to help your gifts grow, he said. He makes me feel as though you're on the radio all the time, like speaking to people or speaking to people. Your voice is traveling. He's got this feeling of your voice being received by many. The words that you speak, he's saying, are received by many. Are you a podcaster? Or do you
No, that's a plan in the future. But
just talking about that.
Oh, okay. Maybe that'd probably be in the future then, I guess. Because now I'm more of doing some YouTube, social media, like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and also like events on Zoom.
Right. Ditto. Get it. It's like how far can we go? But he has you on radio, then he took me to podcasting for you. He's so beautiful. He just said like for you to keep continuing to spread the love, like with your voice and the words that you speak really touch people. They need to hear what you have to say, he's saying. And just trust yourself, he's saying, like trust your intuition, trust yourself in the path. He just said, know that we don't plan it all out over here for you. You do have a choice. And you play a role in the path that you take. It's not all us, you know, it's not all on them. It's not all predetermined, he's saying. You will go far and wide if you allow yourself to be vulnerable. And with this, I leave you, he says. I want to take like a little stick that I would find and just like, I don't know. Did he have like a stick he carried? You know, he's like tapping on, and I know this sounds stereotypical, but he's showing me like cattle and he's tapping on cattle and then he's tapping on the ground. I don't know what this is. I have a stick.
I don't know. At first I thought it was maybe just like a chopstick or something like that he would use or something, but no,
this feels bigger. This is definitely a stick on like
I wonder if that's just something he did as an old man. I don't know.
Or maybe he did it.
I could see him doing that though.
Maybe he did it when he was younger. I don't know, but I'm tapping with this stick. Like he keeps showing me a cattle with long horns and he's doing that. Then he's doing it to the ground. I don't know. He's got me doing this. All right. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Do you understand your grandfather didn't quite understand what your father does, but he's proud? Does that make sense?
Oh, yes, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't quite understand what my son does, but I'm very proud of him. That's what he's saying. Just to see how he's going to leave here. It's very beautiful. He took like this star in his hands like this. He lifted up and then he blew on it and just released it. And when he released it, it's like they multiplied into tiny, almost like hatching, right? Multiple, many stars, and they're just coming your way. Like it's gold stars too. They're just coming your way. That's the gift I leave you, he says. He said, anything is possible. That's beautiful. Like he just said, anything is possible. There's one star, blows on it and lets it go. And then all of a sudden it's like it hatches thousands of tiny little stars. And he says, anything is possible. The other thing you might know as this calling card is, so I have a terrible Frau line, but when you start to focus or you're thinking about something like that, he's melding with you at that time. He's showing me this, like he's melding with you. He's a part of that.
Oh,
your guide.
Oh, good to know, because I do that quite often when I think. I do have a mean thinking face.
Yeah, I have these terrible Frau lines, but he's like he's pointing to mine. He's yours. Okay. Okay, and I'm going, and you want to do a card reading now as well, yes?
Yeah, I guess before we say bye to him, I was wondering if he had any insight on what this year would look like for me, and also next year. Obviously, next year's get ready money raining down somehow, but yeah, this year, like if there's
going to be on a roller coaster. So he's got you on a roller coaster. For me, it's a sign or symbol of ups and downs in 2021 throughout the end of the year. But there is like you're holding a sign that says hope. So I don't think he wants you to give up hope. Okay. It feels like you're given an opportunity and then it's retracted or taken back. So you're given some kind of opportunity and then it comes back.
As in like a job offer and then they take it back, or?
I want to make sure my brain's not answering that. Hold on. Do you have sponsorships? Or are you?
Not yet.
That kind of feeling is what's coming up when I'm asking him about it.
Okay.
Or like being the spokesperson. There's sponsorship, spokesperson kind of feeling that he's bringing up. I don't think the job opportunity situation is going to be what you expect, but you have to trust in it is how I'm feeling. You have to trust in that because it's not going to be what you're anticipating. It's going to be better than what, you know, it's kind of like us thinking we know what we need, but we really don't. It's that same thing. So just trust if something is taken back or doesn't work out, that it's meant to be in that way for career, work, life. So in 2022, I feel like, you know, he's showing me a big pair of scissors with a rope that's being cut, like a grand opening pair of scissors. And I feel that you're freed up. There's a sense of freedom in 2022 that you've not expected, he's telling me. There's no way you can fathom where you'll be in 2022 right now at this moment. He's telling me that you will have multiple choices in 2022. You do have multiple choices to choose from. But he's also saying, like, your idea is one steady flow of revenue or income or focus for work. And then trying to do this thing on the side is how he puts it, like another piece on the side. But you're going to be surprised because you're going to have to make a choice and dive in. Sounds
you
like,
mean,
yeah,
you mean choosing
dive
one
all in, go all in.
in
You're gonna
both, or each
no,
choose
in
one?
one. You're gonna have to go
Okay.
all in. Because he's got you like you're tiptoeing, like, almost as if you're above water and you're on these tight ropes and you're trying to balance both of them to get across. It's not going to happen that way. I mean, you're not going to be able to, not that you're not going to be able to, it's not going to work out that way for you to do 1.5 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.5 focuses. It's not going to be long lasting. You're going to have to take that leap of faith and dive all in, he just said.
Cool. I think that's a good hint for
Yeah.
me. I know what he's talking about, I
Okay,
think.
good.
On that note, I have a question for him, but so I'm currently unemployed. And so that's the thing. I do have a side business that I'm building, but also because I'm employed, I've been job searching and it's been quite a while now. So that's why I'm thinking, like, when is it that I'm going to get my next like full-time day job, and like what role or industry is going to be in. But when he said, oh, eventually next year I'm going to have to choose to take leap into like, I kind of knew what he was talking about. So I just wasn't sure.
He's bringing me to data and research with you, analysis, data and research. I don't know how that plays into it.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going when you're asking about the career.
Interesting.
But it feels like that would be easy for you, but not fulfilling. It's like, I could do that in my sleep, he just said. You're saying like you could do that in your sleep, but it's not fulfilling to you. He keeps putting you like on the edge of this small pond and you're diving in. You keep diving into this water, not knowing how shallow or how deep it is, but trusting and just diving all in. Again, it keeps bringing that up. It's almost like on the temperance card in tarot, that little pond, keep showing me that. In March, I feel like there's a shift coming your way when I'm asking about all of this. But then by June, you're going to have to make a big decision. So in March, I feel like there's a shift for you. I feel like there is something, a job or an opportunity that you take on full time. But by June, there's another shift, and then you have to make a decision between that and this other thing. So in about a year from now, there'll be another big shift for you. That's what I'm feeling. I'm coming backwards. Hold on, I want to go here in 2021. I feel like in September 2021, there's an offer for you. Oh, but you're really struggling with it because it's like the offer's going back and forth, back and forth. Feels like a struggle, like, do I want to take it? Should I take it? Do I have to take it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going back and forth. I don't feel excited to take it, and I'm happy and satisfied. I feel like it's just pulling back and forth. I heard, but it pays the bills. And by December, you're so like over that. You're over that role. Because I feel a little like a little deflated, like, oh, this has gone on long enough. Don't be surprised in the new year that you're inspired in a new way with new creativity, new ideas, new things are coming your way with the new year as well. And then again, I see March, a shift. And I see June, another shift. I don't know if I said that before, but that's what I see. But when I look into the June opportunity, I see you like landing, like planting it, like a gymnast, So June feels like really good. You just have to know that there's going to be some ups and downs in the interim, and that they're serving its purpose. I keep feeling like, what you take is, again, but it pays the bills. I keep hearing that, but it pays the bills. So you're willing to go ahead and take that for stability, for security, stability, security. Keep feeling that levelness. So security, stability. And there's even a point where you're like, okay, like I'm listening to you, like where you have this talk with him in spirit, but you're like, okay, now I'm doing what I think I should be doing, because you don't have a lot of patience in the process.
Yeah.
You want to get there like yesterday, right? You want to get there yesterday.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my psychic mediumship reading. As you can see, she stated that she is an evidential medium, which means you can think of it as evidence. So you can see that in the beginning, she talks a lot about, what do you call it? The information she brings forth from my grandpa is like facts or like memories or things like that, kind of like evidence, So it's great for people. I think this is great for, in a way, people that might be getting a session for the first time and they don't know what to expect, and they're kind of like, I don't know, this is a real thing. Evidential is definitely, I think, a style for skeptical people, because obviously skeptical people, they kind of need that extra evidence, facts, and info to be like, okay, that is my grandpa. So, but keep in mind that not all psychic mediums take information the same way. So I've had this come into where people ask us like, hey, can you guys do reading like my mom passed away or my dad passed away? And there's like one thing that she and I she told me this answer and only I know it. And the thing is, like, again, like I explained earlier in the video, that when you have this type of mindset going in, it's going to cause more resistance for the reading, and more so for you, really. So instead of being open-minded and seeing what comes through, and because some of the stuff that comes through might be stuff that you actually need to hear, not like, oh, your mom's favorite color is a pink peony in this blush tone that she uses, or something like that, and when you're focusing so much on that, you kind of disregard the rest of the reading and kind of don't pay attention to the messages. So anywho, with the evidence though, it's definitely like, I think I would say for those type of people, I personally don't think, obviously I've talked to my grandpa so many times that I was sitting there, I don't know if you guys could notice, but I was just sitting there being like, all right. Like, I want him to just give me the messages I need to hear. Like, I already know this is him. You only need to give me like a couple points of validation maybe. So I know that you're not pulling you through just like a random person. And then, I have a bunch of questions. Like, the thing about the evidence is I was looking at the time, and probably like 20 minutes was spending a lot of, telling me these facts, and kind of like, and you see the style where it says like, does that resonate with you? Do you understand that? That's a very typical way of like style being taught of like evidential mediumship, where it's like, do you understand that? It's me saying like, does that resonate with you? And the person's saying yes. And that was probably like 20% of my reading. So if you did a 30-minute booking, then you really don't have any time at all for messages. And sometimes, at least from our experience, the messages are like the things that people need to hear, the things they need to to heal, pretty much, essentially. Because you can list all these facts about these people, but when they say like, I know you're going through this and this is what you need to hear, this is what can help you, blah blah blah, that's where I see like a lot of the healing happens, versus like the facts, just the facts about, your grandpa was this, your grandpa had, your mom had a purple blanket, your dad had like a yellow shirt that he loved, and things like that. So yeah, with evidential style, I think because there's such a huge chunk of time spent on like verifying that person coming through, that a 30-minute session wouldn't be enough. Like you saw, this is like an hour session. So yeah, with the evidence style, again, it's not my preferred, because I just wanted to get to the questions. I felt like I had other questions I wanted to ask, but we ran out of time, because a lot of the time used was to verify the information that it was my grandpa. Also, in this type of style, not every psychic medium does this, but it was definitely, I felt like it was more like, not as like a conversation, talking, and some people don't like that, and that's totally fine. It was more of like, a lot of her just telling me the information, and I felt like I was kind of like just nodding my head saying yes or no. Not like an interview, that's probably not the word I want to use, but you kind of get the gist of what I mean, like that type of style you can see from my reading. Well, I hope you guys found this video to be very, very, very helpful and useful in seeing how psychic mediumship works and how there's different styles and how different psychic mediums have different gifts. So not every medium or even psychic person sees things, or some of them hear things instead and some of them feel things. So I hope that helps educate you on how different spiritual gifts can manifest and come out of different people in different ways. You know, we all are gifted, but we have different ways of showing it. And if you'd like to learn more about how to develop those psychic abilities and intuition, check out our website, thehappyhealingshop.com, where we offer courses on that. Also becoming an energy healer and being certified as a Reiki practitioner, and also learn how to grow a spiritual business from scratch. Also, comment down below on what you guys thought about my reading. Did you guys like this type of style of reading, or do you prefer other types? Have you guys been to psychic mediums? Do you guys even believe in it? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.